Hello everyone. For the beginning of this particular reading, I'm going to be just using the oracle cards. I kind of want to get a feel for what the energy is. Today is, oh my gosh, October the 26th, Monday. I want to just kind of get a real feel for the energy here. And I may or may not post this. I'm not sure yet. Let's just see. I just want to get a feel. Because it's starting to feel wonky. I know earlier or during the last week it was, really smooth. Everything was going fine, but I can feel like a little bit of agitation, just a small amount, not overly so, but I can feel that. It's like, I wonder if this is a growing. Let's just see what we get. I'm going to pull it out for the 20s. I'm going to pull out 5 cards for the rest of the week of October. The 26th, the 27th, which is today. Oh God, fear. The 28th. Fear. The 29th. Patience. Oh, these are getting pretty crushed up here. And then the last one. Surrender. What? Look at the titles of these cards. It's kind of like it, to me it makes sense. It does. I'm sorry to say. It kind of makes some kind of crazy sense. Oh, stop it. Failure is on Monday. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn, which is true. Could be in any kind of situation. But you're starting to feel like there's some kind of failure, but it is an opportunity to learn. Everything we do is an opportunity for us to learn. If you feel like a relationship is coming to an end, or perhaps maybe you feel like you're losing your home, or if you're, financially struggling during these hard days, it could be that. But remember, it says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And the way I see this is, if there is a sense of failure within yourself, it might just simply be that there is, but there's a lesson behind it. For an example, maybe you're someone who has always been able to have, plenty of abundance in money, for instance. And you were always able to, whenever you felt the urge, go out and go shopping, or drive to the next town over to see what they have. And it was like you had a restriction to some degree, but you were at the same time a little bit loose with your money. And maybe this is like saying, now during these hard times, maybe you're starting to realize that you should be putting some of that money into a savings account, because we don't know what's going to happen at the end of this election. We don't know which way the country's going to go, and we don't know what is going to even be. We don't even have a clue as to what's coming, to be honest. And I'm wondering if this is like the kind of lesson, that example I gave you, instead of doing the shopping at free will, and and it's not really a selfish thing. It's just extra things that you see that might be nice in the home, or maybe there's some clothing that needs to be bought for the children, or whatever it is. Just know that this might be some kind of a test for you, to make sure that you learn that you don't have to have all the material things in life. This world is about material things, but that's only because we've been programmed to believe that. If we look at it from a different perspective, we don't need half the stuff we have. I'm starting to see all the clutter in my home, and I'm thinking, why did I buy this? Why did I buy that? It's that kind of energy. It's teaching us to learn to live in a more moderate pace. You know, we don't have to have everything. It doesn't have to always be perfect. We were programmed to believe that so we could buy things and buy and make money for the, other people as well. I get that. But look at what's happening to some of the countries that are losing their businesses. Now they're not going to have an opportunity to go on that, go down to the next town to see if there's, they have a special offer on furniture. That opportunity might not be there anymore. And so it's telling you to learn a lesson from this and to not take money and material things for granted. And it might not even be something we might not even be able to continue with that even, who knows, a year from now. And I don't mean to put fear in anybody. I really don't. But I've watched enough. I watched some of the stock market or the realtors on TV, and I've got one that I listen to that's very good. His first name is Neil, but for the life of me, I can't think of it. The last name, it's like 2 different names. But anyway, he's really good and really straightforward. But it could cause fear for us. And that's okay too, because as long as we don't let the fear overcome us, the fear might be just enough to make us realize that we need to stop spending so much money on frivolous things that maybe aren't as needed as we think they are. And it says, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And the truth is, to be honest with you, if there's not love in a family, there's nothing in a family. If there's love in a family, you guys will grow so much stronger together right now during this time in this world. You will grow. You will support each other more. You'll be able to open up more freely to people. You might even shed a tear in front of somebody you thought you never would. That kind of energy is beautiful. So fear can lead to love. Because sometimes that might be the only thing that we truly have that's ours. Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Oh my. That would be a realization. Because we may not have any option in what comes up in the near future. And I'm not talking about the elections. I'm talking about in general. In general, there might not be anything that we can do about what's happening. We might just have to be sitting back and watching it happen, or at least focusing on your own family and your own, necessity needs. That might be a bigger problem. The necessities like the food, clean water, everything like that. But just accept, I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Excuse me for a minute. Trying to get my composure back here. The next card talks about patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. If you don't believe any of these other cards, believe this one. Because the divine is in control, and they may not want us to believe that, but the divine is the one that's in control. Everything is happening for a reason. There's nothing in this life that doesn't happen for a reason. Synchronicities are very important. If you start to see signs and it kind of gives you like, what? Pay attention again. Look again. Because there's going to be signs out there for all of us that is to let you know that you are okay. You are going to be covered. You are surrounded by the divine. Surrender. The patient says, I accept that everything happens in divine order. I did read that. Surrender. It says, I can release my need to control. You don't have a choice. We don't really have a choice. We might have to really learn to just surrender to it and just go with the flow. If you know that the divine is watching after us, then you can just let go and let the flow happen. Just let it flow. It's all going to be okay. If you have faith and you believe and you know, then you're good to go. If you don't have those three things, you may want to start looking inside of yourself and asking yourself, how are you going to start responding when the world starts changing? For sure, really changing. I'm sorry I teared up there for a minute, but it is so emotional for me because I feel the energy starting to change again. But anyway, I may or may not post this. But either way, I wish you guys the best and hold tight. Not tight, but just hang loose. Don't get too worried and don't watch too much TV because it can also drive us crazy. I watch YouTube and I pick and choose what little clips I watch. But anyway, until I see you guys next time, namaste.